Did you know that over 75% of adults over age 60 experience daily joint stiffness, low energy, or dry, aging skin? Yet most accept it as just getting older. But here's the reality. Doing nothing can make things worse. Left unchecked, chronic inflammation, the silent driver behind these symptoms, can accelerate joint deterioration, cognitive decline, and visible skin aging, according to research published in the Journal of Gerontology in 2021. If you've been waking up foggy, stiff, or looking in the mirror and asking yourself when you stop feeling like your old self, you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not stuck. In this video, you'll discover a simple daily ritual backed by modern science and used for centuries in the world's healthiest regions that can help restore clarity, comfort, and that youthful glow from the inside out. No hype, no pills, just one spoonful and the real science behind it. The invisible weight of aging. Aging doesn't always arrive with a dramatic diagnosis. Often it creeps in quietly. One morning, it's a little harder to get out of bed. Your knees hesitate. Your back needs a moment. You chalk it up to a bad night's sleep until it becomes every night. And slowly, your mornings feel heavier. Not because you've gained weight, but because your body doesn't move the way it used to. This silent shift isn't just physical. Many older adults report feeling invisible, not only to others but to themselves. The spark that once made life exciting feels distant. You might still smile, go through the motions, keep the calendar full, but deep down, something feels like it's dimming. And this is more than just emotion. Scientific research confirms that aging cells produce more inflammatory molecules, a process called inflammaging. According to the Nature Reviews Immunology journal, this low-grade chronic inflammation is linked to fatigue, joint pain, slower metabolism, memory issues, and even skin thinning. It's your body quietly calling for help. At the same time, your skin produces less collagen. Your mitochondria, the energy factories in your cells, slow down. Digestive enzymes decline, affecting how your body absorbs nutrients. These are not failures. They're natural shifts, but they don't have to define how you age. The good news? These changes are not irreversible. In fact, certain natural compounds, particularly those found in extra virgin olive oil, have been shown to combat chronic inflammation, support joint mobility, and even enhance skin hydration and elasticity. If you've ever felt like you were fading from your own life, this might be your moment to return, starting with something as simple as what you put on your spoon each morning. A kitchen table conversation that changed everything. For many people, the shift begins not in a doctor's office or health seminar, but during a quiet conversation over coffee, a moment that feels ordinary, yet changes everything. Imagine this. You're sitting at your kitchen table, swirling a spoon in your coffee, absent-mindedly complaining about how meals seem harder to digest lately. Maybe your knees ache. Maybe you just don't sleep like you used to. You're not looking for advice. You're venting because it's easier than hoping. Then someone you love says something that stops you. What if your body isn't broken? What if it just needs something different? That question has opened more doors than prescriptions ever could. Science supports this shift in thinking. Researchers in the blue zones, regions of the world where people regularly live past 90, have found that longevity isn't driven by extreme interventions, but by small, consistent habits rooted in traditional food and lifestyle. One of the most powerful of those habits, daily consumption of cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil. It's not just a cooking oil. In regions like Ikaria, Greece, and Sardinia, Italy, it's medicine. Rich in polyphenol like oleuropein and oleocanthal, olive oil acts as a natural anti-inflammatory agent. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people who consume at least 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil per day had significantly reduced biomarkers of inflammation and improved cognitive performance. But the key is that this isn't framed as a treatment. It's a ritual, a way of honoring your body each morning. For many older adults, that first small change, adding a spoonful of this golden oil on an empty stomach, isn't just physical. It's emotional. It's the first time in years they've said yes to themselves. It's not about perfection. It's about permission to believe that change is still possible. Olive oil, The forgotten superfood. For centuries, extra virgin olive oil wasn't considered a health trend. It was just food, real, unprocessed, and revered. In ancient Greece, it was used not only for cooking but for healing wounds, moisturizing the skin, and calming inflammation. Somewhere along the way, in the rush of packaged goods and low-fat diets, we forgot its power. Modern science hasn't forgotten. In fact, it's catching up. Extra virgin olive oil, especially the cold-pressed kind, contains bioactive compounds like oleocanthal, which mimics the effects of ibuprofen, and oleuropein, known for its antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. According to a 2022 review published in the journal Nutrients, these polyphenols support cardiovascular health, reduce oxidative stress, and protect against neurodegenerative diseases. But not all olive oil is created equal. Walk into any large supermarket and you'll see rows of bottles labeled olive oil, pure, light, or even extra virgin. Many of these are refined, chemically treated, or diluted with cheaper oils like soybean or sunflower, stripping them of the very compounds that make them healing. A study conducted by the University of California, Davis, found that nearly 70% of imported extra virgin olive oils sold in the U.S. failed to meet international purity standards. So what should you look for? Choose cold-pressed, extra virgin olive oil stored in dark glass bottles. Look for a harvest date, not just an expiration date, and ideally pick a bottle from a single source, not a blend. Authentic olive oil should smell grassy, slightly peppery, and even fruity. If it tastes flat, oily, or stale, it's probably lost its beneficial compounds. In places like Crete, people consume olive oil like Americans consume soda. But instead of metabolic disease and inflammation, they have some of the lowest rates of heart disease and cognitive decline in the world. This isn't about trends or marketing. It's about returning to what works and what has worked for thousands of years. Sometimes the real superfoods don't come with a label. They come with a story. And olive oil has been part of the human health story longer than most of us realize. One spoonful a day. What actually happens? Change doesn't have to be dramatic to be effective. In fact, some of the most powerful shifts happen quietly, one morning at a time. Take Barbara, a 68-year-old retired teacher from Minnesota. She started each day with a tablespoon of cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil on an empty stomach, just to see what might happen. The first few days were uneventful, but within the first week, she noticed she wasn't reaching for her antacids. Her bloating after meals disappeared. Her knees didn't protest when she walked down the porch steps. By the end of the second week, her afternoon energy crashes were gone. What's going on inside the body? When taken in the morning, extra virgin olive oil stimulates bile production, helping the liver process fats more efficiently and easing digestion. It also coats the stomach lining, which may help protect against acid reflux and calm inflammation in the gut. According to a study published in Frontiers in Nutrition 2021, regular olive oil intake improves the balance of gut microbiota, a key factor in immune regulation, mood stability, and metabolic health. Then there's its impact on the brain. Olive oil's high concentration of monounsaturated fats and polyphenol has been linked to improved cognitive function. In a 2020 study published in JAMA Network Open, older adults who followed a Mediterranean-style diet enriched with olive oil showed significantly slower cognitive decline compared to those who didn't. But perhaps the most noticeable changes are the everyday ones. Less joint stiffness, a smoother digestion, improved regularity, more restful sleep, a mood that doesn't dip with the afternoon sun. These aren't miracle effects. They're signs that the body is being supported, not overwhelmed. Women over 60 are often told they need more supplements, more medications, more interventions. But what if the body just needs a better foundation? Olive oil, taken consistently, doesn't flood the system. It nourishes it, gently, intelligently. Barbara didn't change her diet overnight. She didn't start running marathons. But after a few weeks of that one small habit, she said something powerful. I don't feel younger. I feel clearer. Like I've come back into focus. And that's what makes this ritual different. It's not a fix. It's a return to presence, to comfort, to self. Not just a remedy, a ritual There's a difference between taking something to fix a problem and choosing something to honor yourself. That's what makes the olive oil habit so powerful. It's not just a home remedy or another health hack. It becomes a ritual, a small, intentional act that says, I matter. My health still matters. My mornings still matter. This distinction isn't just poetic, it's biological. Research in Psychoneuroendocrinology, 2019, shows that consistent morning rituals, even simple ones, can lower cortisol levels, improve mood regulation, and strengthen emotional resilience, particularly in older adults. Why? Because rituals reduce uncertainty. They give your nervous system a predictable rhythm, something to trust. Taking one spoonful of olive oil before anything else, before the emails, before the errands, before the noise, becomes a quiet moment of reconnection. You're not multitasking. You're not chasing results. You're simply being present with your body. And over time, that sense of presence starts to ripple outward. Many women describe that once they made this part of their routine, they started doing more for themselves. A 5-minute stretch, warm lemon water, a short morning walk, not because they felt pressure, but because their body started to feel invited, not ignored. This kind of care isn't desperate. It's grounded. It's a way of saying, I'm still here. Even if your joints creak, even if your skin has changed, even if your reflection shows a different version of you, this ritual brings you back into focus. And here's the beauty. You don't need a schedule, a coach, or a supplement subscription. You need a bottle, a spoon, and a moment. Because when the world moves fast, rituals help you move with intention. And in that quiet act of care, something awakens. Not your youth, but yourself. The 3 mistakes most people make. Not all olive oil is created equal, and not all routines work the first time. Many people try adding olive oil to their mornings, but give up when they don't feel any different. Often, it's not because the habit doesn't work. It's because of avoidable mistakes. Mistake number 1, choosing the wrong oil. Most supermarket olive oils are not what they claim to be. Many are refined, blended with cheaper oils, or processed using heat that destroys their beneficial compounds. In fact, a study by the University of California, Davis found that up to 70% of imported extra virgin olive oil on U.S. shelves fails to meet basic quality standards. What to do instead? Look for cold-pressed, extra virgin olive oil in a dark glass bottle, ideally with a harvest date. It should come from a single origin, not a blend, and smell fresh, slightly grassy or fruity. Mistake number 2, taking too much too soon. It's tempting to think more is better. But for some people, especially those with sensitive digestion or gallbladder issues, starting with a full tablespoon may feel heavy. What to do instead? Start with half a teaspoon or 1 teaspoon. Let your body adjust over several days. Then work up to a full tablespoon if tolerated. Mistake number 3, expecting instant results. Olive oil isn't a quick fix. It's a gentle daily support that works through consistency, not speed. What to do instead? Commit to a 7-day trial, then 14, then a month. Track your digestion, energy, and skin. You may be surprised at what improves when you give your body time. Sometimes, the mistake isn't the method. It's the expectation. Give it a chance to work the right way. The science behind the glow. One of the most common compliments people notice after a few weeks of this habit isn't about their digestion or joints, it's about their skin. A subtle glow, a softer texture, skin that doesn't feel as dry or tired. That's not wishful thinking. It's science. As we age, collagen production drops dramatically, especially after menopause. This leads to thinner skin, more wrinkles, and slower healing. But olive oil helps address this decline in 2 key ways. First, it's rich in vitamin E and omega-9 fatty acids, particularly oleic acid, which supports the skin barrier and helps retain moisture. In a 2021 review in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences, researchers found that these components improve skin elasticity, hydration, and repair when consumed regularly. Second, extra virgin olive oil contains polyphenol, powerful antioxidants that protect skin cells from oxidative stress caused by sun damage, pollution, and aging. These compounds reduce the activity of enzymes that break down collagen, helping preserve the skin's structural integrity. And it's not just about appearance. Postmenopausal women often struggle with hormonal imbalances that affect both mood and skin health. The monounsaturated fats in olive oil help support hormone regulation, especially when combined with a diet that's rich in fiber and whole foods. That means more balanced skin tone, less dryness, and fewer flare-ups. One woman, age 72, described it best after her third week of the olive oil ritual. I looked in the mirror and I saw softness. Not youth, just softness, like my skin was no longer fighting. You don't need expensive creams or complicated regimens. Sometimes, radiance starts in your gut, not on your face. And when your body is nourished from within, with healthy fats, antioxidants, and a little kindness, your skin reflects it naturally. A 7-day challenge to reconnect with yourself. This isn't about overhauling your life. It's about trying something simple and noticing what happens. For the next 7 days, take one small step each morning. A spoonful of cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil on an empty stomach. No sugar, no caffeine, no pressure. Just a quiet moment between you and your body. Before you eat, before the rush of the day begins, take a teaspoon or tablespoon, depending on your comfort, and sit with it. Let settle. Let become a pause, not a prescription. Then, for the rest of the day, pay attention. How does your digestion feel after meals? Do your joints feel a little less stiff? Does your skin look more hydrated in the mirror? Are you falling asleep more easily at night? You don't need to change your diet. You don't need to add supplements or routines. Just give your body one act of support each morning and observe. If you want, keep a small journal. Write down how you feel each day, physically, emotionally, mentally. You may not notice dramatic changes at first, but small improvements add up. They build trust. They open the door to more. This isn't a test. It's a gentle invitation to reconnect with the body that's carried you through decades and to remind yourself that healing doesn't have to be hard. You don't need to turn back time. You just need to turn inward and listen. That one small spoonful of olive oil each morning isn't about youth. It's about presence. It's about reclaiming the parts of you that felt forgotten, the ease in your step, the softness in your skin, the clarity in your thoughts. No, it won't erase wrinkles or bring back your 30s, but it can help you feel steady, nourished, awake. And that matters more than any number on a calendar. Too often, we're told aging means decline. But what if aging also means refinement? What if this chapter, right now, is a chance to reconnect with your body in a kinder, wiser way? You're still here. Your body is still listening. Your glow may look different, but it hasn't disappeared. It's just been waiting for care, for consistency, for a moment of attention. So give yourself that moment. Not for vanity, not for perfection, but for joy, for energy, for peace. And if something shifts, if you feel even a little more alive, share it with a friend, with a neighbor, with someone who needs hope. Because aging isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of a new one where you get to show up fully, just as you are. One spoonful, one morning, one choice at a time.